I just can't. Like, it's unbelievably believable, in the words of Baylor's own Robert Griffin III, what is happening right now with the Indiana Pacers and with Tyrese Haliburton in particular. And I want to start by showing this. This is the statement I made on this show yesterday. It's about a 30-second statement that I made into a short on this channel yesterday. And I just want to play it because I expected this. And it just happened in such a beautiful way in game one. This is what I said yesterday. Heard me say this week, I want this for Tyrese Haliburton. I want the storybook ending of the guy that was voted most overrated to win a championship 14 months later. I really want that. But more than that, if one or two of these games comes down to the last possession, as good as SGA is, and SGA will lead this series in scoring, Tyrese Haliburton in every playoff series this season has hit a game-winning or send it to overtime shot. Tyrese Haliburton is not only going to win finals MVP, he's going to hit a big shot somewhere to win a game and take this series. So, like, that was my, bold prediction for the series is that Tyrese Haliburton would hit a fourth game-winning or game-tying shot in this series. And he did it in game one. The Pacers were down by as much as 15 in the fourth quarter. I saw this from ESPN on Twitter. Before last night, teams were 0-182 when trailing by 9 or more points in the final 3 minutes of a finals game since 1971. And that one we added last night, the first team in 183 games to be down by 9 or more points with 3 minutes to go in the finals and to win. And on the back of another Tyrese Haliburton game-winning shot. Listen, I feel like a broken record at this point because this is like the third time I've talked about the movie script. This is unbelievable. 14 months ago, this guy was voted by his peers as the most overrated player in the league. And he has now done something that puts him into elite company. And this is mostly what I wanted to talk about today, is not so much a reaction to last night's game. And again, they were the Pacers down by 15 in the fourth quarter. Haliburton did not shoot particularly well last night, did not put up a lot of points last night. But when we got to those final 5 seconds, we all knew who was going to have the ball in his hands, and we all knew what he was going to do. Tyrese Haliburton was always going to hit that shot to take that lead, and he did it with 0.3 seconds to go. And I thought to myself, and I even texted Pete this, I said, this is the best individual playoff performance by a player since Dirk Nowitzki in 2011. And yes, I was a Mavs fan. I'm biased towards Dirk, but you think about Dirk going in a 4-0 series victory over Kobe Bryant, a 4-1 series victory over KD and Russell Westbrook in their primes, and a 4-2 finals series over LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. I can't think of a better individual run since. And as I was thinking about this, I started to wonder, Tyrese Haliburton has now hit a game-winning or game-tying shot in all 4 playoff series. How many players have done something like that? CBS Sports, fortunately, answered that question with this article this morning. I'm going to read to you from this article. I was tempted to read this whole article, but that would make for terrible YouTube. I'm going to read the opening of this article and then recommend you go read it. So if I'm looking down here at the computer, it's because I'm reading. This is an article by Sam Quinn 1 hour ago on CBSSports.com. I will link it in the description when we're done with this live stream. I'd recommend you go read it. Here's how it opens. Since the NBA's play-by-play era began, and that's play-by-play stat tracking, okay? Since it began in the 96-97 season, LeBron James has the most postseason shots to tie or take the lead in the final 3 seconds of regulation or overtime with 8. By the way, for all the Kobe is more clutch than LeBron haters, don't you dare look up what their game-winning shot field goal percentage is, because LeBron's is twice as good as Kobe's. He's hit 8 of these game-tying or game-winning shots in the postseason since the stat was tracked beginning in 1996. That tells you all you need to know about LeBron versus Kobe. But here's what's unbelievable, okay? On Thursday, last night, Tyrese Haliburton made his 4th of the 2025 playoffs alone. Haliburton has now made 1 such shot in each of the 4 rounds this postseason. No one else in the play-by-play era, including James, has made at least 1 such shot in each of the 4 rounds across their entire career. Michael Jordan did so but didn't complete that bingo card until the 97 NBA Finals, his second to last trip to the postseason. Haliburton has done in a single postseason what it took Jordan an entire career to do and what James still hasn't accomplished in 22 seasons. That raises a very simple question. Is Tyrese Haliburton having the greatest clutch playoff run in NBA history? That's the opening to the CBS Sports article by Sam Quinn. It's undeniable at this point. What Tyrese Haliburton is doing in the clutch for the Indiana Pacers is only rivaled by Jordan or LeBron. He is in that company in terms of postseason performance and clutch shooting. It's really incredible. It's really like I don't have enough words to describe that kind of company. Now, what makes this interesting and what makes Haliburton so unique is that he is not scoring nearly as many points in the postseason as LeBron or Michael or Kobe or Dirk or any other superstar who's led their team to a finals championship. Haliburton is averaging fewer points in clutch situations this postseason than Jalen Brunson did. Tyrese Haliburton, if I'm remembering correctly, I think has 33 clutch time points this postseason. Brunson has 50 some odd. So Haliburton is not racking up ridiculous scoring totals, but he's 4 for 4, 100% on game-winning or game-tying shots in the postseason. Michael Jordan was about 50% for his career. LeBron about 50% for his career. Hallie's 4 for 4, and the only player outside of Jordan to do it in 4 playoff series, including the finals. Need I say more? Haliburton is also 8-1 this postseason in assist to turnover ratio as a point guard. So he's doing it unconventionally. He's not going to score 30 points a night like LeBron or Jordan at their best, or Kobe at his best, or Dirk at his best, Duncan at his best. That's not what Haliburton's doing. But what he is doing is he's making brilliant decisions with the basketball. He's not turning it over. And when you get to a last second shot situation to win a game, he's perfect. He's been perfect. You give him the ball, and he's not going to miss. Last night, I believe he was 5 for 12 shooting before that final shot. He was not shooting well. He was not playing well. But he didn't turn the ball over. And when the game came down to the wire, he hit the shot. The bottom line, and the reason I bring up Kobe and Jordan and LeBron, is because when we talk about the greatest players of all time, this is what we talk about. We talk about what they did in the playoffs, and we talk about what they did in the final seconds of a game when the ball is in their hands and it comes down to them. This is what we all play through as kids in the driveway. The scenario of, I've got 5 seconds and I've got to heave a shot, and we dribble like crazy and we heave our shot. And Tyrese just did it in game 1. The Pacers didn't lead the whole game, but they got within striking distance and they gave the ball to the closer. And Tyrese Haliburton is the closer. This CBS Sports article I referenced wrote what they consider to be their 3 most clutch individual playoff performances in NBA history. To this writer, again, this is, let me look at his name one more time, Sam Quinn on CBS Sports. He says in his mind, the 3 most clutch individual performances throughout a playoff were 1998 Michael Jordan leading the Bulls to that final championship before they broke up. 2007 LeBron James. They didn't win the finals that year, but if you'll remember, that's the Cleveland Cavaliers team LeBron dragged all the way to the finals with Larry Hughes as the second best player in the roster. Boobie Gibson was getting time on that team. It's the worst roster to ever make a finals, all on LeBron's back. It said LeBron in that series had a ridiculous 14-1 turnover assist to turnover ratio. So LeBron absolutely balled there. And then they also put up, like I do, 2011 Dirk Nowitzki as the other most clutch, saying in the clutch, Dirk was shooting 54, 60, and 97%. I'm assuming that shooting percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw shooting percentage. Man, Mavs went 11 and 5 against Kobe, Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Harden, James, Wade, and won all their clutch minutes by 73 points in that playoff in 2011. And then here's how this article concludes. It points out that while LeBron didn't win that series, that finals in 2007, Jordan in 98, and Nowitzki in 2011 did win the finals. And it says, if Tyrese can pull that off, win a championship as a number 4 seed in this specific way, it would be almost impossible to refute. He's had the most clutch playoff run in NBA history. I want it, man. I don't know how you can root against this. If you're just a casual sports fan or a basketball fan whose team has been eliminated, I don't know how you can root against Tyrese Haliburton from accomplishing this. Now that he has started the finals in this way, the Indiana Pacers have a leg up in game 1. It is seriously going to be the next great sports movie if Tyrese can complete this and win the finals 14 months after being voted most overrated. The other thing I said about this, and then we'll move on to Aaron Rodgers. I think what he just did, even if the Pacers lose this series, I think Tyrese Haliburton has put himself in the current NBA top 5. And I'd be interested to get Zach's thoughts on this when he's back in the chair, maybe Pete's thoughts on this next week. I think the 5 best players in the NBA right now, in some order, I'm not ranking them in order, but in some order, it's Luka, it's Giannis, it's Jokic, it's SGA, and I think it's Tyrese. I really value what guys can do in the playoffs, and I really value being the man in the final seconds. Ant-Man is great. He has an argument. You could still argue for like a LeBron or a Steph. Jason Tatum, we'll see how he comes back from injury. I think it's undeniable to me Tyrese Haliburton has gone from most overrated player voted by his peers to a clear top 5 NBA player right now. And it happened last night. Unbelievable sports moment. You love to see it.